Hello, you are welcome again to this lesson. My name is Suleiman. We are still looking at bearing and distances. Okay, in our previous class, I explained a bearing. A bearing is an angle measured in a clockwise direction, starting from the north. Did you hear that? The way our clock move is clockwise, from as in this direction is clockwise and this is not. Okay, like when you move from your house to your school, whenever you go to school, from your house, and you want to measure the bearing, that means you have to locate the north of your house. From the north you look at the measurement. Okay, that will give you the bearing. All right, so today we are going to look at some work in here. Let's say you have this object and here is 30 degrees. Remember, this is not. Okay, this is an object. Just take it whatever you can believe it to be. Let's say a flight or a car moves in this direction, okay, from the north, and then we have to find the bearing of this object, which is represented by letter A. So how do we find the bearing? Remember, I said we measure bearing starting from the north. Okay, so you have to, it's not 30 degree, we have to go to the north and measure whatever I have in this region. That is going to be the bearing. Okay, so the bearing of A from this point, the starting point here, okay, let the starting point be P. Okay, the bearing of A from P is here, from here to here is 90. Okay, 90 plus 30, that is 120. Okay, the bearing of A from P, 90 plus 30 degrees, that is 120 degrees. Okay, that is how we measure bearing. Okay, so let us have another direction. Okay, let's say B. This is the direction of B. The starting point is TP. Okay, so let here be, what should I use? 60. Let here be 60. In this case, how do we measure the bearing of B from P? Of course, we always start from the starting point, right? This is the starting point. You move until that line. You cannot cross beyond this line, because this is the limit of B, of this. This is the limit. So what do? Normally we are supposed to add this. We know this to be 90, of course. Then what do we have here? That is it. Remember, each quadrant is 90 degree. If each quadrant is 90, okay, so let's say here is 80. The remaining part should be 10. 80 plus 10 is 90. So now that here is 60, remember this quadrant, this is right angle triangle, is 60. Out of 90, if here is 60, this part that we need is 30. This 60, we don't need it. Okay, we start from the north until that line. This is the direction of B. You don't go beyond. If you pass this line, then that's not more the direction of B. Okay, so here the bearing of B from P, the bearing of B from P is equal to 90 plus 30, which is still the same thing. Okay, so you can see it's the same way. This question can come like this. It's still the same thing. All right, I hope you get it. We are to calculate the bearing of each letter from P. All right, if you are to calculate the bearing of A from B, okay, there are two things here. Where is the starting point and where is the end point? The starting point should be B. A from B, that means B is the starting point. Remember, we take bearing from the starting point. Okay, just like if you're asked, where are you coming from, they want to know where in particular are you coming from. That place you are coming from is the starting point. So the bearing of A from B is the starting point. Also, the bearing of B from A is the starting point. That means we measure bearing starting from the north in the clockwise direction. Since we have to find the bearing of each letter from P, P is the starting point, and we count and clockwise. Okay, now let us see the first one. Okay, let this be number 1, let this be number 2, let this be number 3, let this be number 4. All right, then the first one, the bearing of B from P, because each letter from P, that means P is the starting point. You go to the starting point and take your bearing in clockwise direction. Okay, so let me take the bearing. This is the north, that is 90, 90, 180, 90, 270 plus 40, that is 310. So the bearing here is 310 degree. I hope this is clear with from the north. All right, so here the same thing, each letter from P, sorry, number 2, this is number 2. P is the starting point. Okay, something is missing here, because by the time we begin, we are going to stop here. This is going to be our bus stop. We have to count from here and stop here. All right, then we need this angle, because we know this to be 90, this to be 90. This should be what? Of course, it's 30. Sorry, it's 20, because this segment alone is 90. Out of 90, we have 70 here. Then this has to be 20. Okay, so the bearing of A from P, that is from here to here, is 90 plus 90, 180, 180 plus 20. The bearing of A here from P is 200 degrees. I hope this is clear. All right, number 3, the bearing of P from C. So how do we take this bearing? The bearing of P from C, the bearing of C from P, you go to P, you take it from the north and stop here. But here is 20. What should be this place? Is 70. We don't need this 20. It is this region that we need. Okay, and out of 90, if here is 20, the remaining part should be 70. Okay, so the bearing here is 70 degrees. All right, then the last one here is, if you look at it, just look at the diagram. Remember the bearing of each letter from P. This time around, remember from P. This is P. This is where we are going to start our bearing from. Okay, so but this information given to us is what we are going to use. All right, at any point, always whenever a figure like this is given to you, just draw a broken line so that it can give you north, south, west, the 4 cardinal point. Okay, the 4 cardinal point. Remember this bearing, this 226 stops here. Then if you look at it, from here to here alone is 180. All right, if from here to here is 180, out of 226, so what is going to remain? 226 minus 180, that's going to be 46. Okay, because you borrow 1 here to make it 12 minus 8 is 46. So this bearing is 46. Sorry, this angle is 46. And if here is 46, alternate angles are equal. Here is also 46. All right, if here is also 46, then the bearing of each letter from P. So this is P. We start from the north of it as well and move clockwise. So what do we have? It's just 46 degrees. All right, in this case, how do we find the bearing of A and B from the starting point P? They have the common starting point, A and B. Okay, A and B have common starting point, and that is P. How do we find the bearing of A and B from the starting point? Okay, let us start by considering A. This is A, right? If I need to measure the bearing of this A, I start from the north and I move in clockwise direction. Okay, I move in clockwise direction. Okay, you cannot go beyond the line. That line represents A, so you don't go beyond it. Okay, so from here, nothing is here, but we know it is 90. In fact, from here, from north to south is 180. Of course, I hope you believe, you know that this is 90, this is 90, this is 90. Each quadrant is 90. If you move from north to south, sorry, not south. If you move from north to east, that is 90. If you move again from north to east to south is 180, because 90 plus 90 is 180. Of course we know. Okay, from here to here is 180 straight. All right, 180 plus 40 is what? 220. Then what of B? This is B. Okay, the bearing of B also, we have to start from the north. Okay, we still have to start from the north. We start from here and stop here. This line represents B. You don't go beyond it. Okay, so whatever we have in these two angles, that is what we are going to add. We know the first one to be 90 degree right angle triangle. Okay, so here of course we should know if each quadrant is 90. Let us look at the second quadrant alone. If you look at the second quadrant, here is 40, automatically here should be 50. 50 plus 40 is 90. So here that means we are going to add 90 plus 50. 90 plus 50 is 140. Okay, so the bearing, therefore the bearing of B, okay, from P, from the bearing of B from P, okay, remember P, the starting point, is equal to 90 plus 50, and that is equal to 140 degrees. All right, it is very simple. I hope you understand. This one, a boy starts from point A and walks 3 kilometers east to point B. He then walks 4 kilometers to C. Find the distance of C from A. All right, this is the starting point. Okay, he starts from point A. Let us name this point A, and any point we must have these 4 cardinal points. And he walks how many kilometers to due east to B? It's 3 kilometers due east, okay, to B. Okay, this is B. He moves in this direction. This is north, this is east to B. So from B, he then walks 4 kilometers due north to C. This is north of B. 4 kilometers, right, to C. Okay, then find the distance of C from B. This is the distance. Sorry, C from A. The distance of C from A. So what do we do? It has results to right angle triangle. It's just Pythagoras theorem. Okay, as it is right angle triangle, and the only thing we can apply is our Pythagoras rule. That is x square is equal to 3 square plus 4 square. All right, 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16. Okay, 9 plus 16 is 25, right? That is x square is 25. Then we have x to be square root of 25. X is equal to 5 kilometers. Okay, that is the distance of C from A. I hope this is clear. Very simple.